I'm Tia with Clueless Homesteaders, and I have recently gotten into making kombucha, and I'm still in the beginning phases. I am about to work on mixing my third batch. So I just want to kind of talk about some of the things that you have to have in order to make it. So you want to make sure that your containers, your pots, everything is super clean and sterilized, because any sort of bad bacteria will make your SCOBY sick and you're not going to have a successful batch. So what I've already done was originally was going to use my 1 gallon jar. I realized that doesn't give me very much kombucha when I make it. I get maybe 4 or 5 bottles, and that's really not enough when you're having to ferment. The first fermentation is a week, and then you put it in the bottles, and that's maybe another week at the very most. So I went and bought a 2 gallon jar tonight. I've already cleaned it. I rinsed it also with water and some distilled white vinegar, because that's what you want. And then I made some more, so it's at the right temperature where I'm gonna add the sugar. So for a gallon with this one, I just kind of eyeball it, and I fill this pot of with water of about halfway, and then I use about 10 tea bags. So it's really your preference as far as if you want it stronger or weaker, you add less water or more water. So I'm gonna go ahead and add my sugar, and it's gotta dissolve. Then once it's dissolved, I'll add it to this, and then I will add the rest of the water. And then once that's done and I'll add it, then I will take the SCOBY and 2 cups of this liquid and put it into this, and then I will then put the tightly woven cloth on top. And I actually have a really cool rubber band somewhere that I found today. I don't know where it went. Okay, so anyways, I'll have to use this yarn piece that I have. So this is just about dissolved. Almost, I can still hear it. Okay, we're good. So everything's clean, like I said before. So I'm gonna go ahead and dump this in here. So between these 2 batches, because it would have been 1 gallon each, I've got 2 cups of sugar. The first batch, I added a little bit of extra sugar, and that won't hurt anything. So I'm dumping my water in. That's the first part. I got a little bit more to go, and then I'm gonna add my 2 cups of two cups of the fermented tea with the SCOBY. So here's the rest of my water. I'm gonna leave a bit of room, so I gotta add those 2 cups. I have my 1 gallon of my fermented tea with my SCOBY, and that stands for Symbiotic Culture of Bacteria and Yeast, SCOBY, S-C-O-B-Y. So it's been sitting in here, it's been growing, doing its thing, and there's also another SCOBY that's growing on top. So that's gonna go into this with the 2 cups. I've already cleaned my hands, washed them, and I've rinsed them with white distilled vinegar, again keeping it clean because I don't want to make my SCOBY sick. So I'm gonna, yes, it's very nice. So this is the new SCOBY forming. This is better than my first one. I'm very excited about this. So I'm just gonna go ahead, transfer it over here. Both of these have been cleaned again with the distilled vinegar. So I'm gonna take out 2 cups. There's about 1 right there. There's 2. That is a healthy SCOBY. And here is the SCOBY that was in here. It's gonna go transferred into this container, and then that's all gonna go into here, and then I'll cover it. Okay. So what I probably didn't mention before was that you don't want to take all this and bottle it. What you want to do, like I did first, is I took out the 2 cups, because that's you reserve to grow in the new batch. So I'm gonna go ahead and pour that in here now. And there it goes. I have a clean woven cloth. gonna go ahead and put it over the top. I have my yarn. I'll put it right around the rim. Tie this really secure and tight, and then I'm going to put it in the spare bedroom in the closet where it's cool and dark, and that's where it's going to stay for at least the next 7 days. So for right now, I'm going to go and put that right here out of the way. I'm going to bottle the batch that's been fermenting for the last week with my bottles. So you want to have a good bottle with a good seal, and if you can find these types of bottles, the lid comes off, there's a seal that's going to keep the pressure in, but you want to make sure that you have cleaned them, like say in the dishwasher, so they've gotten sanitized. If you have some of the GT kombucha bottles, you can use those too. I have another one that I got this week, I forget the name, it's a much smaller bottle, so I'm going to try a couple different ways. I'm still experimenting with the burping. For those of you who have made kombucha, you know it's time consuming and you're excited to get it because it tastes delicious. You've taken it from your closet or wherever you have it, you put it in the refrigerator, you taste it tastes amazing. But that's after you get this open, because usually what happens after it's been sitting in the refrigerator, you open it, you hear a pop a little bit, you take this off, and then it starts to build, and then it erupts like a volcano. And so when you've got this much kombucha in there, and then you have this much, that's really, you know, frustrating. So if anyone has any great techniques, let me know. I totally am open to that. So anyways, so you can play with flavors. So you can use fresh fruits, frozen fruits, and you can put herbs in it. I haven't played around with herbs yet. I've used ginger and honey. My honey batch didn't turn out very well. It didn't get fermented. I thought that the SCOBY would have loved the sugar in the raw honey, but it didn't ferment. It didn't carbonate. So last time I used frozen raspberries, and it turned out delicious. When it goes from this color, when it starts out this color, I had seen other batches and I've seen on the internet these vibrant pink colors and purples and oranges. I'm thinking, how does it go from this to the pretty colors? And it's basically because these are soaking in it and the pressure, and it's fermenting. So I had my last batch, my raspberry, and I posted on my Instagram. When I poured my raspberry kombucha into a clear plastic cup about yay big, it looked like champagne. That's what it reminded me of. It was bubbly, it was pink, it tastes like it almost has alcohol in it. I took it to work, shared it with some of my coworkers. They liked it, they were highly impressed, because when you hear kombucha, everyone gets scared. Everyone thinks that they're eating or drinking something moldy and that they're gonna get sick. So I try to explain to everyone, no, it's actually a really good it's really good for your gut health. It's been around for a really long time. It's really easy to make versus, you know, and a lot cheaper than buying it. So I'm gonna make a couple this time with raspberry because that's my favorite flavor. But I'm also going to experiment. I've got mixed berries over here. I've got frozen blueberries and I've got some whole strawberries. I'm not going to use the ginger this time, so I want to see what my options are. So that's what we're going to start with. So I put my fruit in first after I've mashed it up. I think it's getting soft enough where I don't have to use my food processor. That's a little loud. So I have a tablespoon right here, and I believe this is what I used last time. I was really bad about not keeping records and writing stuff down because I thought, oh, I'll remember, and I should know myself. I have a horrible memory sometimes. As good as it is, I forget the small things. So I'm going to take about a tablespoon of the frozen raspberries. If it's a little more, it's fine. And then I'm just going to put it in here in my funnel. Okay, so I have a big enough funnel, but my fruit's still a little chunky. So I want to make sure that it gets down in there because it's not going to go in by myself putting it in there. So last time I used like a thick sports straw from one of my bottles. I have these wooden skewers. It's taking a little bit longer, but it's getting in there. And again, that's a tablespoon of fruit. And then I just take this again. Oh, forgot I'll leave that in there. I'm gonna fill it to the desired amount. Right now it's about halfway. I believe these are 16-ounce bottles. Put it down and close it up just like that. So there's raspberry. So again, when you do this, you want to try and be organized. You want, I have a book right here. I'm not going to pick it up because my hands are still semi-clean. So you want to write down what you're using. You want to write down how many bottles you're making, what flavors you're using, and you should probably find a way to label your bottles, because right now it looks good and you're going to know what it is. In 7 days time, or 3 or 4 days, however long you decide to let it do its thing, the fruit's going to take on a different appearance. You're not going to know what's in there. And it also forms a scum. And that's nothing bad. You could drink it. It doesn't look that great, but it's not going to hurt you. So, and then usually when you open your bottle, that's one of the things that kind of shoots out first. So, yeah. So just staying organized is going to be like the best part for yourself. So I'm just going to do another raspberry. And then I'm going to do some berries. I think I mentioned before that this was my third batch. So my first batch went really well. I got 2 bottles left. I think I got maybe 5 or 6 bottles of it. I had made raspberry, raspberry ginger, honey ginger, and then just ginger. And the ginger one turned out really well. I've tasted it. I'm not a fan of ginger, so that's something that Andy's gonna enjoy. The honey ginger did not turn out, and I'm kind of surprised by that. I'm not quite sure. I used local raw honey. I figured that it would have fed off of that nicely and carbonated nicely, but it didn't. So I was really excited when that finished, and I had started my new pot of tea, and I got it in my 1 gallon jar, and I transferred this SCOBY successfully. And it wasn't until a couple days later, when Andy and I were checking on the bottles in the back closet from the first batch, a couple of them weren't carbonated. So we're like, they're not right. And I'm thinking maybe it's the sugar. I didn't put enough sugar in, but I'd put in at least a cup. So I didn't really know what was going on, and I thought about it, and then I started realizing, oh my goodness. And he's like, what's wrong? I said, my current jar that's up there in the top of the closet, pretty sure I forgot to put the sugar in while the tea was still warm. So I put that tea in my gallon jug. I added the water, put my SCOBY in there, my 2 cups from my previous batch, and I was ready to go. But I didn't put sugar in there, so I'm pretty sure I killed my SCOBY. But I'm not sure because I don't know if there's like a certain time frame. So I just figured that it was done, and I got rid of it, and I ordered a new one. So this is my 3rd batch with my new SCOBY, and hopefully this one works. It's got a little bit of a different flavor already because I ordered it from the Kombucha company, and my other one I had gotten at the Homesteaders Conference and through our canning and fermenting class. Okay, so my strawberries are whole. Forgot about that. So I'm gonna take them over to my food processor, and I'm gonna mash them up so I can put them in the 2 new bottles. Okay, I've got my strawberries. Put it in there. I think I'm gonna do 2 tablespoons of strawberries. It's a little time consuming getting it in there, but I think it's the best thing to get it to work. Well, here's the tool that I used last time. Like I said, I used a sports bottle, straw, about the same size as the funnel, but it goes much quicker. Okay, so that's the 2 tablespoons of strawberry. Okay. So what I just figured out is if I put some liquid in here, the strawberry tends to go down a little bit quicker. That one's a little fuller than I would like, but I'm just gonna leave it and I will remember. So far I've got 2 raspberry bottles, 2 strawberry bottles. So this next one I'm gonna do blueberries. And I think that this is small enough where, yep, I can just put them in there. I don't know, maybe 12 blueberries. Maybe it's too much. And I'm really bad and I didn't count those. So I might have more than 12. About there, yeah. Okay, so the thing about these brown bottles is they're brown, and so you can't see what's going on inside. So I have a little bit left, and I'm going to use this small little kombucha jar, and I'm just gonna see what happens and how it works. I'm gonna make this one blueberry as well. It'd be kind of cool to see it clear. I don't need that many since it's small. But here we go. So it's a little full. I'll take some of that out. And we'll watch. I guess I'll just leave it. It already looks so pretty. So again, I've got two raspberry, 2 strawberry, and 2 3/4 blueberry. Okay, so I have my 1 gallon of kombucha. It got me about 6.5, 7 bottles. I'm currently working on a 2 gallon batch. So hopefully that will give me 12 to 14 bottles this next time. I want to thank you very much for watching, and until next time.
I'm Andy.
I'm Tia.
Thanks for watching.
Don't forget to subscribe.
And hit the bell icon to subscribe so that you get notifications when we post new videos.
And don't forget the thumbs up.
Thanks.
Thank you.